The sound of laughter sliced through the restaurant's soft ambience like a sharp knife cutting through delicate fabric. It was the sort of laugh designed to draw attention, boisterous, self-assured, deliberately audible. The man producing it lounged confidently in his charcoal-colored suit, a flash of derision gleaming in his gaze as he brandished several crisp banknotes. Standing opposite him was a young server, composed and silent, her face betraying no emotion. For an instant, everything surrounding her appeared to dissolve. The metallic chime of utensils, the subdued conversations, even the subtle jazz melodies that typically permeated the space, all overtaken by the hammering rhythm of her own heartbeat. He had ridiculed the way she spoke. He had belittled her attempt to articulate a simple word properly. And he had issued a callous proposition that would alter the course of the day. Speak to me in English and I'll give you $1,000. If you value compassion, modesty, and the possibility of redemption, then please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Untold Stories 0.4, and pass it along to someone who could use a reminder that self-respect holds greater value than currency. The young server's identity was Ariana Velasquez, a 23-year-old employee who had been laboring through consecutive shifts for many months to provide for her mother and younger sibling back in Guatemala. The establishment, an upscale venue named Maison de Lumière, wasn't the type of workplace she had ever envisioned for herself. The patrons donned custom-fitted suits, silken gowns, and fragrances that suggested affluence. Ariana, dressed in her pressed white blouse and dark blue apron, felt practically invisible on most occasions, unless someone chose to diminish her. Yet she endured it with understated poise. Each platter she balanced, each courteous smile she extended represented a quiet stride toward the aspiration she steadfastly protected, to become an educator of languages and establish a modest school in her native village. That particular afternoon, the restaurant sparkled with natural light. Voices of amusement rang out, crystal glasses touched together, and gentle sunshine streamed through the elaborate chandeliers. Ariana walked toward the table occupied by the older gentleman. Mr. Collins, a prosperous property developer recognized for his booming voice and even keener wit. Sitting alongside him were two women, his youthful companion Veronica, adorned in an emerald-colored gown, and another woman wearing a beige blouse, Elaine, who seemed to be his professional aide. Both observed the unfolding situation, their expressions reflecting a mixture of unease and fascination. Ariana had just mispronounced a term while presenting the menu in English, her voice uncertain. Mr. Collins captured the opportunity, grinning smugly. "You're employed here and you can't even speak proper English," he laughed, flourishing the currency in his grasp. "Here's a proposition, sweetheart. If you're able to wait on me in correct English, I'll hand you $1,000. His declaration attracted several glances from surrounding guests. A few displayed disapproval through head movements, while others simply observed, anticipating the young server's response. Ariana sensed her face flush with heat for a brief instant. She felt the urge to flee, but the exhausted expression of her mother materialized in her thoughts. The woman who remained awake into late hours stitching fabric, the woman who consistently advised, "Don't allow pride to diminish you, Mija. Allow inner strength to help you rise." Therefore Ariana straightened her posture slightly. She offered a subtle smile and started to speak quietly, deliberately, as though each word was a careful advance through turbulent weather. Initially, her English came in fragments. Her accent was pronounced. Mr. Collins's smirk widened further, visibly entertained. But then circumstances shifted. Ariana hesitated, placed her tray aside, and stated composedly in impeccable French, "Shall I proceed in French?" The amusement at the table wavered. Before anyone could react, she transitioned seamlessly to Italian. Her delivery was polished and lyrical. Then German, then Mandarin, then Arabic. Each tongue emerged from her with elegance and accuracy, her gaze remaining fixed, her voice never faltering. The entire restaurant had fallen completely quiet. Even patrons at distant tables rotated to watch. Mr. Collins, who mere moments earlier had been chuckling, now sat immobilized, his jaw slack. His crimson necktie abruptly felt constricting. The two women flanking him appeared astonished. Veronica's hand had frozen mid-gesture, her wine glass quivering faintly. Ariana drew in a measured breath and reverted to English, her manner respectful yet resolute. "Would you prefer that I continue in English, sir?" she inquired. Her voice contained no hostility, no resentment, merely tranquil self-assurance. The banknotes in Mr. Collins's grasp gradually descended to the tabletop. His arrogant expression had vanished. For an extended moment, he remained wordless. Then he released a gentle exhale and regarded her with something unanticipated, regret. After she departed, the table stayed hushed. Mr. Collins reclined in his seat, gaze lowered. For a man who evaluated everything through the lens of fortune and achievement, he had just received a reminder that a person's genuine value could never be quantified in monetary terms. Later that same day, as Ariana was cleaning another table, the restaurant's supervisor came to her. He appeared anxious yet pleased. "Mr. Collins requested that I deliver this to you," he stated, extending an envelope toward her. Within it was a bank draft, not for $1,000, but rather for $10,000. Accompanying it was a handwritten message, "For your bravery, your intellect, and the instruction I required today. Please pardon my ignorance. Richard Collins." Ariana's vision became misty. Her fingers shook slightly as she clutched the document. However, the financial sum wasn't what stirred her emotions. It was the expression of remorse. For the first time in considerable time, she felt acknowledged. Genuinely acknowledged. That evening, as she traveled home along the hushed streets, the urban illumination glimmered softly on the walkways. She reflected on her mother, her brother, and the modest vision of a school she nurtured within her soul. Perhaps it wasn't such a distant possibility any longer. She had always maintained that compassion could flourish even in the harshest environments. And this day, she had witnessed it occur. Several weeks elapsed. The account circulated across the internet after a patron uploaded footage of the interaction. Individuals across the globe distributed it, commending the young server who had humbled a wealthy man without ever elevating her voice. Yet Ariana remained unchanged, modest, diligent, appreciative. She continued to deliver coffee with warmth, continued to preserve every dollar within her means, continued to envision her homeland. But now she possessed something more powerful than optimism. She possessed evidence that dignity and composure held greater worth than precious metals. If this narrative touched you, if it served as a reminder that respect and compassion require no expense yet can transform everything, please like this video, subscribe to Untold Stories 0.4, and distribute it to someone who embraces humility and sincerity. And before we conclude, share with us in the comments, what would your actions have been if you were in Ariana's position? Would you have departed or maintained your ground with bravery and elegance? Ariana's narrative serves as a reminder that occasionally the most subdued voices deliver the most profound teachings. In a world that frequently prioritizes authority over empathy, she demonstrated that genuine strength communicates gently in every language.